What's up, everybody? And I'm back with another episode of the Muay Diaz Combat Pubcast. It is Thursday, February 26th, and I'm going to jump into some UFC news. We have, of course, UFC Mexico City this weekend, and there was some fights announced to UFC 326 with the headliner of Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. But I want to get into the Mexico City card. It is still taking place. So with all the backlash and the cartel violence that was going on in Mexico, is not going to stop the card from going on. Most of that stuff is going on the west coast of Mexico. And Mexico City is pretty safe, pretty fortified. You know, it's been about a year or two since I was in Mexico City, and it was just amazing. It's an amazing city. It's a great experience, and I can't wait to go back. But yeah, this card is, if I had to rank this card, the Fight Night Mexico City, I'd probably give it a 3 or a 4. I mean, it's one of my favorite fighters. Brandon Moreno is the main event, but he's fighting an unranked guy in Lawner Kavanaugh, who stepped in. I think it was like 4 weeks ago. He stepped in after the initial opponent fell out. Sorry guys, I'm coming down with something, man. I'm just feeling pretty shitty today, to be honest. But I looked down, I've gone up and down the card, and this is probably one of the most lopsided cards I've seen in a very long time. Of the entire card, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 fights on the card. Out of the 14 fights, 28 of the fighters, there's only 5 ranked opponents, or 5 ranked fighters on this entire card. Brandon Moreno being one. The co-main event, Marlon Chito Vera and David Martinez are the 2 other ranked guys. And then it's the female bantamweight fight, Eileen Perez versus Macy Chiasson, are the other 2 ranked fighters in their weight class. So, and to be honest, most of these fights are so lopsided as far as the betting odds are concerned. I mean, we could be wrong, and this could be a banger of a card where, you know, it's all these unranked guys. I believe there's like 6 guys making their UFC debuts on this card. You know, so you could get a card where it's young, unknown guys who just are willing to go out there and put it all on the line and go to absolute war. I could see that happening. But as far as the betting odds is concerned, I mean, we have Brandon Moreno versus Lawner Kavanaugh. Brandon Moreno is a favorite at -218. Kavanaugh is a +180. I thought it would actually be higher since Brandon Moreno is ranked number 5, or I think he's number 6 now. I think he's still number 5. Lawner Kavanaugh is unranked and took the fight on short notice. I thought the money line would be greater than that, but it is -218 on DraftKings. The over is -140, 4.5 rounds, and the under is +110 at 4.5 rounds. I think Brandon Moreno will get it done. I could see him stopping Lawner Kavanaugh. But usually when it comes to these lighter weight guys, you know, the flyweight guys, it's almost a guarantee that it's going to go to the decision, you know, unless you have guys like Figgy and Moreno a couple years ago when they're stopping people. Kai France had a big punch, you know, but he's been out of the picture since he lost to Pantoja. You know, Joshua Van gets guys out of there. Pantoja will literally, usually, you know, just grind you into a decision unless you're Kai France and he gets you out of there in the first round. So, yeah, Brandon Moreno for sure for the win. I'm not going to pick as far as the over-unders. I would probably go under, but you could take the over and still feel okay. It's only at -140. The co-main event is Marlon Chito Vera taking on David Martinez. Chito Vera is the underdog at +245 according to DraftKings. They have David Martinez at a -305. Martinez is only 1-0. This is his second fight in the UFC. You know, his last fight, he had a great performance. It was a unanimous decision. But Chito Vera hasn't won a fight since Sean O'Malley in 2024. No, he lost to who did he lose to? His last 2 fights, man. I'm sorry, I'm blanking out. I'll come back to it. But yeah, Chito hasn't won since 2024. So I like David Martinez. He's a tough fighter. He's really good in there. He looked really good. I think the guy's like a doctor. He's got a PhD or a doctorate degree, and he just decided to fight. He's Mexican. I believe he's from Mexico City. It should be a good fight. Cheeto really needs a win. He needs a win bad. You know, it's starting to come back to me. So he lost to Figueiredo after O'Malley. And then he lost to, who was his last fight? I can't even think about it right now. But I'll come back to it. The next fight down, Daniel Sauber, who's supposed to be just this big up-and-comer, and he's really good, but he hasn't won a fight since the Sphere. Yeah, in 2024 of September. Before that, he lost to Rebovix. Then he came back and he lost to Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson beat him just recently. So he's taking on King Green. Daniel Zuber is a minus 500, man. And King Green is a plus 380. Daniel Zuber, I really like the kid. But he's been a big-time favorite in his last 3 fights. He was the favorite against Rebovix. He was the favorite against Michael Johnson, like a minus 400 favorite against Michael Johnson, and he got beat. King Green is a veteran. He looked great in his last fight. This is one of those where I don't know who to pick, man. Like, especially after the week I had last week where I just couldn't win a fucking fight. I mean, Del Valle was a minus 400, and he couldn't even get the job done. So even with these large point spreads and these money line bets, man, I'm iffy when it comes to guys like Dan Zuber, who hasn't won a fight in 2 years, almost 2 years. So I'm still gonna pick Dan Zuber though. God damn it! Like, I really like him. I like King Green too. But if Dan Zuber comes out and he's hungry, I think he has the tools to beat King Green. King Green is not like Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson pushes the pace. King Green likes to walk forward, but Michael Johnson has the speed and that great left hand. I'm still going to pick Dan Zuber on this one. The over-under is 2.5 rounds. The over is minus 135. The under is plus 105. The next fight down, Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Bunes. Chairez, minus 325. He is 2-0 in the UFC. Bunes is 0-1. He's a plus 260. Chairez is a minus 325. The over-under is 1.5 rounds. Over is minus 195. The under is plus 150. I like Chairez. I could see it going over. Next fight down, Emmanuel Rodriguez. This is his UFC debut. Emmanuel Rodriguez is fighting Kevin Borjas from Peru. Rodriguez from Mexico. Borjas is 0-1 in the UFC. He's a plus 350. Emmanuel Rodriguez is his UFC debut, and he's a minus 455. I mean, geez, man. Like, the bettors really don't want anybody to bet on these fights, making these lines so big. The over-under is 1.5 rounds. The over is minus 145. The under is plus 114. I mean, pick it how you want, man. I mean, you want to go Emmanuel Rodriguez. He's minus 455, but Jesus, Saluber is minus 500, and you still don't even know if he's going to win. I'll lean Rodriguez on this one. I saw Kevin Borjas last fight. He looked decent, but nothing that, stood out. But then again, I've never even seen Rodriguez fight. This is his UFC debut, so take it how you want it, guys. The next fight down, I'm just going to go over the main card and then the Eileen Perez, Macy Chiasson fight. The opener for the main card, Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco. Luna is a minus 625. Pacheco's plus 455. Pacheco's 0-1. Luna is 1-0. So over-under is 1.5. Over is minus 110. The under is minus 120. So I take Luna. Fuck it. And then Eileen Perez and Macy Chiasson at the bantamweight, the female bantamweight division. Eileen Perez is ranked number 7. Chiasson is ranked number 8. This is the closest betting lines you're going to get on this entire card from top to bottom. Eileen Perez is minus 170. Macy Chiasson is plus 142. The over-under is 2.5 rounds, minus 345 for the over, plus 250 for the under. I like Eileen Pettis in this fight. And then there's been some controversy around this fight where Eileen Pettis said that if Macy Chiasson doesn't make the limit, 136 for the bantamweight division, she's not going to fight. Macy Chiasson has had a lot of difficulty making weight in her last 3 fights, I believe. I think she's missed weight in her last 2 for sure. It might be her last 3. But Eileen Pettis says she's not playing that shit. If she doesn't make the weight, she's not going to fight. I don't know if you can really take that with a grain of salt, because if Macy Chiasson doesn't make the weight and it's not crazy, Eileen Pettis is still going to get 20% of her purse, which I don't know what they're getting paid, but I mean 20% is better than 0 for not fighting at all. So, and I think Eileen Pettis has the skills that she can beat Macy Chiasson. So even if Macy Chiasson comes over a pound, 2 pounds, I would still take that fight if I was Eileen Pettis, and you could probably still get the job done. Now, if it is something crazy where it's 5, 6, 7, then yeah, I can see it not taking the fight. You know, that's just doesn't do you any favors, because usually, I think it's like some crazy stat, 80% or 85% of the people that miss weight that are over end up winning the fight. So, you know, they're not having to put themselves, you know, through that torture of making the weight of those last few pounds. In her case, 5, 7 pounds, you're not going to make that. But, you know, a pound, pound and a half over, sometimes you just quit sweating. I mean, believe me, I know how it feels, but a lot of the times is they get on the scale, they're a pound over, and they're just completely done. You know, just, I'm done. Mentally checked out. I'm not cutting any more weight. Take my money, and I'll just see you tomorrow. But, yeah, that's it for me. I'm not going to go down because all the other guys on the card, there's 5 more debutees that are making their debuts. And just so you don't believe me, I mean, in case you don't believe me, you have Ryan Grandra versus Jose Medina, minus 675 plus 490 in favor of Grandra. Christian Quinones versus Chris Moutinho, minus 675 against plus 490. Douglas Silva de Andrade, plus 190. Javier Reyes, minus 230. Eric Silva, plus 525. Francis Marshall, minus 750. Damian Pinas, minus 250. Wes Schultz, plus 205. That's another close one. But, I mean, for the most part, these are blowout fights, man. I mean, when you're getting to the minus 750s, minus 675s, that's like Valentina Shevchenko country right there. Like, that's when she was just blowing through everyone. Like, she ran out of people to beat up, and they're just throwing her somebody from the first row. Hey, get in there. You know, so this card on paper is very lopsided. But, you know, like I said, they're young and hungry guys. Maybe they come out and fight the fights of their lives. They want to make an impression. It could be a good card from top to bottom, but when it's so skewed like that with the betting odds, man, it's hard to call. So I'm not gonna put out any official picks. I mean, you guys can go on what you think. I mean, the favorites are favorites for a reason, but you know, like I said, man, after last week, I got my ass kicked in the picks, and I mean, a lot of those were favorites too. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys. Oh man. So that's it for Mexico City card. I'm gonna jump down to the UFC 324. Saturday, March 7th. Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. We already know that. Max is number 4. Charles. Sorry. Charles is number 3. They don't have any betting lines out just yet. I wouldn't expect them to because it's still about 2 weeks away. But I'm leaning Max Holloway in this fight, man. Like, Jesus. Excuse me, guys. I like Charles, man, but I don't know, man. The knockout that he suffered from Ilia Topuria, and then coming into a fight against the second greatest featherweight of all time in Max Holloway, it's going to be a dogfight, you would think, you know, unless Charles can get it to the ground quick, which is easier said than done because Max is rarely ever held down for any extended period of time. Jesus Christ, I feel another one coming on, guys. Sorry. But Max, I mean, he's got good takedown defense. When he does get taken down, he gets back up. He showed that against Ilya in the last fight. Ilya gets the takedown early in the very first round, in the first minute, under a minute and a half for sure. Max doesn't panic. He frames. He makes his way back to his feet, and then they go and start on the feet again with him and Ilya. But I just like Max. I think the role that he's on lately, you know, especially we all saw the big win against Justin Gaethje. I just think it's Max's time, man. He really wants to make a push at that rematch with Ilya at 155. So this is the first step for him to get over. If he gets past Charles Oliveira, I can see them throwing him up against Ilya. Depends on if Ilya fights Gaethje, if it really does go through, which it should, but we just don't know when. If Ilya gets through Gaethje, which I think he will, and that's the other thing, if he doesn't go up to fight Ilya or Islam, then that's the big fight. I mean, it sucks because Armin's still just sitting there at number 1. But if Max can KO Charles Oliveira, like a brutal KO, I'm sorry, but the UFC is going to jump Armin again. They're going to give Max the winner of Gaethje and Ilya because it's 2 big rematches that we all want to see. Gaethje said he wants to run it back with Max after he got knocked out like that. Max says he wants to run it back with Ilya. So whoever wins out of Ilya and Gaethje, I believe it'll be Ilya. The storyline's already written itself. Then you have Max Holloway coming up, or Max Holloway coming off a brutal knockout if he can get Charles Oliveira out of there, or just a dominant performance. I can see the UFC giving Max Holloway a shot at the UFC lightweight title. That'll give him an opportunity to be a 2-weight champion, and they should make it where he has to put up the BMF, and that'll give Ilia Topuria a chance to be a 2-weight champion and a legitimate BMF champion. So he'll have 3 straps if he doesn't go up to try to chase the third title against Islam. But yeah, I think Max gets it done. The co-main event, Kyle Bohayo, ranked number 7 at middleweight, taking on Rainer de Ridder, who's ranked number 8. De Ridder coming off that loss where he quit in the corner. And then Kyle coming off the loss against Nasruddin Imavov, which was a good fight. I think Kyle Bohayo tried to turn it on late, but it just wasn't enough. Imavov looked great in that fight. His boxing is so good for that division. And this one was kind of tricky to pick, man. I think I would lean Bohayo on this one. I really like Rainer de Ridder, though. I like RDR, but I think he's shown that he can get hurt to the body. But he does love his grappling, and I think Kyle is good enough in his jiu-jitsu department where he can shut down a lot of things that RDR is going to bring to the table. So I'm going to go Kyle Bohayo for the win. The feature fight, sorry guys, man. I have not been feeling good all day. Bantamweight fight, Rob Font, number 13, taking on Raul Rosas Jr., the Gremlin. I like to call him the Gremlin because in the words of Money Moicano, that is one of the ugliest motherfuckers I ever seen in my life, brother. Fucking Moicano, man. He's that ugly motherfucker, man. In that Brazilian accent. I don't know, man. I'll probably go Raul Rosas Jr. on this fight, man, because we already know what he's going to do. He's going to try to just out-grapple Rob Font, and that's never been Rob Font's wheelhouse, the grappling game. He likes to stand up. He likes to strike. But this fight was scheduled before, and it fell out. I think that's why Martinez got the fight against Rob Font. But this should be a good one. I think Raul Rosas Jr. gets it done. And I like that Rob Font is showing his Puerto Rican heritage off. He's got the Puerto Rican flag under his picture on the UFC website. So, you know, a Puerto Rico-Mexico fight is always good. But I think Raul Rosas Jr. gets it done. Yeah, but it should be a good one, decent one. The next one down, Drew Dober. Man, how many fights does this guy have, man? Drew Dober's been around for so long, it feels like. He's taking on Michael Johnson. I'm betting Michael Johnson, man. He's looked so good in his last 2 fights. This is like a resurgence of him. He's up at lightweight now. He's not at 45 anymore, so he's not having to cut those extra 10 pounds. He looks lighter on his feet. His gas tank looks better. He's still fast as shit. He was always fast. You know, when he knocked out Poirier at 45, he was fast. And, he has so many great knockouts. He's one of the only guys I've seen that really got to catch, that caught Khabib with the hand speed. But, we all know how that fight ended up. Khabib just out-grappled the shit out of Michael Johnson. But Drew Dober likes to stand and bang. I'm going to give the edge to Michael Johnson. I think the speed and his resurgence right now at lightweight is just, it looks good. I really like Michael Johnson in this fight. And then the last fight, the opening fight on the main card is Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. Ferreira got a win his last outing out. He fought, Marvin Vittori, which was a quality win. It was a unanimous decision. And Gregory Rodriguez, he's coming off the loss versus Kopylov, or the win versus Kopylov, sorry. So both guys coming off a win. This should be a good fight. These guys are ranked outside or inside the top 15. RoboCop is at number 13. Bruno Ferreira is at number 15. I'm going to take Gregory Rodriguez on this one. And then when the betting line comes out, I'd like to see what the line is for a KO. And then the last one I'm going to cover on this card, because they're still building it, with the name value, the main fight on the prelims, Cody Garbrandt versus Zhao Long from China. There was a time when if I were to see this, I'd be like Cody Garbrandt in the under and Cody Garbrandt by knockout. I think Cody's just almost done, man. I hate to say it because he was so explosive and just, you always knew that the knockout was coming when he was fighting. And if it wasn't a knockout, he was putting on a brilliant performance like he did against Dominic Cruz when he won the title. But man, I'm going to have to go Zhao Long on this one, man. I just think Cody Garbrandt's just too long in the tooth right now, man. I just think he's past his best days. So I'm going to go Zhao Long on that one. And I'm going to wrap it up for this episode. I'm going to come back and do another episode as far as boxing news with the lawsuit with Queensberry against Sella and Turki Al-Sheikh. And then there's some more fights that got announced on the boxing side, but I'm going to keep it separate today. I'm going to finish up with that. I'm going to jump into the boxing episode here in a minute after I take some damn medicine. If not, my freaking nose is going to fall off. Yeah, that's it for the UFC news. Thank you guys once again, as always, for watching, man. It really means a lot to me. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace!